seconds and counting.
Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. It's Anish, and we have some news for y'all. The Houston Rockets are weighing the future of head coach Silas, and even rival coaches characterize the Rockets' offense as disorganized and undisciplined with chronic turnover issues and poor shot selection. And as a result, we have the worst offensive efficiency and assist-to-turnover ratio. And the fact that around the league, other coaches are disparaging Silas for being inept at his job is definitely not a good look for us. And so Stone is reported to be a very hands-on general manager in which he walks onto the practice court to preach defensive philosophy and is known to consult players on tactical improvements. And so this hands-on approach where he's like watching every single game shows that Stone is probably seeing the same issues that we're seeing as well. So that might change something in Stone's mind and might think that he could be fired mid-season, if not at the end of the season. So we'll see about that. I mean, but if Silas does get fired, some assistant head coaches that should be considered on our staff would be Will Weaver and John Lucas. And John Lucas has a good relationship with Stone and reportedly trains Stone kids. And Stone has a strong connection with John Lucas. And previously, John Lucas was interviewed for the head coach during that coaching cycle for us. So we'll see if he does become our interim head coach, but that's another story. But some people are sympathizing with Silas. Like, with such a young roster, what did y'all expect? And granted, our roster, yes, is very young, and yes, our season started against very tough opponents, against contenders, against playoff teams, and we're nowhere near that timeline right now. And I thought we'd be somewhat of a playing team with just the talent that we have, but seems like that's not the case, and who knows if that could be attributed to coaching or whatnot. And other people are saying that Silas was not hired to steer a rebuild. He was hired while the franchise still intended to convince Harden to stay. And yeah, that's true, because that was the expectation of Steven Silas, is that he was going to coach Westbrook and Harden for kind of like the last dance almost, basically. But that quickly changed when Westbrook got traded, and then Harden wanted out, and then he got traded. So his expectation of his job like was turned upside down from a contending team to a rebuilding team. So it's normal to think that Silas, while he might not be a good rebuilding coach, he could have promise as a contending coach. But we won't know that unless he gets hired somewhere, because we're nowhere near contending. But it's just the mere fact that we're about to set the worst record in NBA history that gets a lot of Rockets fans, including myself, on edge and on our nerves, because apparently the Rockets are 8-62 over their last 70 games, and that is not normal at all. And of course, it's a rebuild, and we're not expected to win so many games, but it's the fact that we're about to be like the worst team in NBA history. Like, that's just really sad. Like that. I mean, I did not expect that at all, and so it's just really tough. And it's the fact that we are playing like veterans over young guys and still losing. Like, it's one thing, I said this in a previous video, but it's one thing to play the young guys and they lose, at least they get experience. But it's another thing to play the veterans over the young guys, taking up their minutes and still losing at the same time. Like, if you're going to play the veterans, at least get the win, but we aren't even able to do that either. So it's just tough, man. And a lot of players, they seem like they're not in the best shape, or like playing their best game. In which Christian Wood, he's regressed, at least concerning compared to last season. KPJ doesn't really look like the KPJ we saw from the end of the season. Yeah, we should give them time, of course, and be patient, but it's just like this is not normal at all for us to be experiencing this kind of like failure on a lot of fronts. And so yeah, I mean, those are my thoughts for right now. I don't know what we're going to do with Silas. He's definitely on the hot seat, and he has one more year after this season on his contract, I believe. So we'll see about that. But that's pretty much it for the video. Let us know your thoughts on this recent news, and as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.